Welcome back to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti, and I'd like to introduce you to John Durrua, who is the president of Jersey Paddler. What's Jersey Paddler?
Jersey Paddler is a kayak, canoe, stand-up paddleboard shop down the Jersey Shore in Brick, New Jersey.
How long have you been there?
Seems like forever. Dad started the shop out of the back of a gas station in the 70s. So it was kind of morphing out of the back, renting aluminum canoes and such. And as kayaks became an industry, we moved along with that to grow and to be one of the largest kayak companies or kayak retailers in the country. So
you have been there forever?
Yes.
You know, it's interesting that you say that as the kayaks became an industry, because they really have. I mean, when did they start to take off? It seemed like I have a kayak at home. Everybody seemed to go buy a kayak for a while there. When did they take off?
You know, it seems mid-'80s, really. My father introduced me to a kayak in the 70s, and he had it imported from Germany because there were no U.S. manufacturers at the time. And then slowly, as the first guy started manufacturing kayaks in the U.S., came to the shop, and more manufacturers started growing. So through the 80s and 90s, we saw a big boom in kayaks.
Now, can I come to your place and rent a kayak or a canoe?
You can. We do test paddling.
Test paddling?
Yeah. So if you want to come down and...
It's like a test drive for a car?
Exactly. So, you know, if you go down and if we rent it for the day, you may not have a good experience. They may not, if you're not in the proper boat, they're just going to rent you whatever they can find. And we have a shop down the street from us that does that kind of stuff. But for us, it's the experience and getting you into the right boat.
Now you're in Brick. Where do I test paddle? Do you put me out in the ocean?
There's a little pond. We start you off in a little pond first, on right from the shop, called Forge Pond, and people drive over Route 70 all day long, don't even know it's there.
It's interesting. I see that you have an elk fluke tournament that you're a big part of, and so I assume that they're fishing out of the kayaks.
They are. You know, the fluke tournament started with they did it as a powerboat event and people getting out to go to this big fluke tournament. We suggested the idea of opening up a kayak division because kayak fishing is exploding. And now
really?
And again, this is what it was designed for in the first place. You know, they first started using these kayaks to go fishing back when the earth was cooling. And that's how they survived. So it's nice to see it coming back around.
Why would I go to a place like yours rather than go to a sporting goods store to buy my kayak?
You know, when you go into a sporting goods store, you go in there, you walk in there, it's this kayak standing on end, and it's only 10 feet long, but it looks huge when you're in the store, and you can't even get a chance to sit in it in some cases. So with us, we're going to have you hop in the water and actually see what it's like. I think when people buy their first boat, they want it to be lightweight, inexpensive, fit in the back of the pickup truck. I always say, do you care how it paddles? They're like, no. So I can never understand that. So it's, you know, they accomplish that part of it until they go to use it. Yeah.
You said that stand-up paddling is becoming popular. You'd think you'd fall over. What is that?
You know, it's what you would imagine is a surfboard, a little oversized, and it's just booming in popularity. So they're actually standing up. They're using a long canoe paddle, to say, and it's a bent shaft paddle, and they propel themselves to the water on it. They have a big event now where they paddle around Manhattan every year.
Wow.
For a fundraiser. We just worked with a guy who did a race around Treasure Island and Point Pleasant, had over 200, he had to stop it at 200 sign-ups because it was his first time, didn't know what to do with more than 200.
When you say booming in popularity, do you mean that I will go to the Jersey Shore this year and I'll see somebody doing this?
You absolutely will. Absolutely will.
Because I didn't last year.
Yeah.
But you're saying it's that recent that it's booming in popularity?
Yeah. It's probably been about 4 years, but it's, you know, it's the nice thing about it is they're very quiet. You don't see them as much, so it's not like you're going to hear a jet ski whizzing past your head. You know.
Yeah, right. You know, I mentioned that tournament, but I didn't give the particulars on it. When is that coming up?
You know, it's coming up in a few weeks. I don't have the date because I'm just kind of coming in as a helper for the event.
That's okay, but people can find out about it how?
Online, jerseypaddler.com. They have sign-ups for that event.
And that's how they can find out more about your place as well?
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to get the kayak out. John Durrua, president of Jersey Paddler. I really appreciate you being in. I'm Larry Menti. Stick around for another thing.